We're live.
Live?
We're early, though. We'll blame that for at least 8 minutes why no one's watching.
Yeah, no, that's the reason.
That's the reason. It's because we're early. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Attack on Show Live, our first event. I'm Robbie.
I'm Rob. That's not right.
No. Dang it.
Tyler?
It's scripted. We have it written right
Tyler.
here. Tyler?
It's written down.
Tyler. It's Batman aficionado. Tyler. That handles the mic. It's the first time going live, so we might have some issues here. We're going to look for some viewers, but I don't want to start talking the movie just yet because we still have 8 minutes to give viewers time to come in and join the conversations. It says there's 2 people, though, and you guys can join in on the chat over here on the right so we can see. Brenna H. says hi. We have our first comment, everybody. Brenna H. is in the house.
Hi, Haley.
I thought she was working tonight, so I'm really happy. I don't know if you recognize that thumb. Oh, you've not seen it yet.
We're about to.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's the beginning.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think
I guess
might
spoilers for Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, are we going to be breaking any? Maybe we'll be breaking some copyright laws having it behind us, but I don't know.
They seem to be picky about music these days.
Carrie Holland says hi. New Wave Films, go Attack on Show. Thank you for tuning in. New Wave Films. Did you get to watch the new Justice League Snyder Cut yet? Brenna is on lunch right now. She's all the way in Alaska. We've got people. We've got a viewer from Alaska.
That's right.
So is that like dial up there? Like, or do they have Wi-Fi?
Well, you see, they got a couple sled dogs on a giant hamster wheel, and they just kind of say mush when they need the Wi-Fi. They go,
just crank it up.
Just go, man.
Oh, that's tricky. At least it's weatherproof. New Wave Films. Did you watch the Snyder Cut? Oh, you reviewed it already. Okay, I've not. I'm sorry. We watched this tonight, so I've not been online at all to see everyone's review. 3.5 out of 4.
3.5.
I gotta say. Well, we're not sharing yet. We're gonna wait 6 more minutes for everybody to come in, so we can't get opinions yet. This is like not eating popcorn before the movie starts. Have you ever done that game?
Which game?
So I always play a game in the theater. When you get popcorn, you cannot start eating it until the movie starts. So you have to sit through the previews and just hold that bucket of popcorn and not touch it.
Yeah,
Carrie loses all the time. So
mine's inhaled. Like by the end of maybe the second preview.
How's the audio? Can everybody hear us okay? Maybe give us a thumbs up if the audio is okay. Are we too loud? Are we not loud enough? We need your guys' help on that because I'm not watching us. I'm here.
Well, yeah, you are. We can see us.
We can see us. Does everyone have their glass poured for this fun event? Yes. Brennan, you're supposed to be at work. Sounds fine. Thank you, New Wave. Appreciate that. This is a new mic that I've had nothing but problems with, but it worked on a podcast, so I thought we'd try it tonight.
Like, I look bald, but I have a funny shaped head.
Yeah, the lighting's a little. There we go. A little more light on the hair, but now we're getting tanned. Here, scoot back. Let's see. No, we can't scoot back because of the mic. I'll just turn down. You'll look bald.
All right.
You'll be our Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah. No, exactly.
Lex Luthor.
Exactly.
Got my Batman shirt. I don't know if anyone can tell my favorite DC superhero. There was our scary movie aliens behind us there.
Did you see that?
You gotta go kick him in the nuts.
You see that?
You want a glass? New Wave. There is a deal when you come on Attack on Show. If you answer the 5 questions to achieve attacker status, you will get an Attack on Show exclusive whiskey tumbler. So
5 questions.
That's a goal. There's 5 questions. Everyone so far has been able to pass. Brenna says the dogs are acting strange. Is it because of our voices? Is that?
Yeah. Something's making them act strange.
Or are they running up? Is that making your Wi-Fi act up? Is that making your internet connection lag? Are they not running too fast? So we do have Justice League Snyder Cut playing in the background here on the theater screen. We just figured we put it in the background. So if you've not seen it, maybe don't pay attention to the backdrop. If you have, well, you get another look at it. So we're almost there. We got 5 people watching here. This is awesome. This is the first time going live. And for you 5 watching, seriously, thank you so much. You can join in on the chat. Hit the chat button down below.
All 5.
You can join in. We're going to interact. We'd love to hear what you guys think. We're just holding off until 9:30 because that's the time that we said we would begin. So we don't want to start too soon because I know we've got a lot of people excited to join this conversation tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they'd be really upset with us if we started without them. So we do got to respect the attackers out there and at least wait till 9:30 to begin.
Yeah,
so
well, we were too eager to get on. You
we
can't
were.
fault us for that.
We are amped up. after watching. So I guess that's kind of a spoiler there. What's Brenda saying over here? She misses you guys. Anyone in particular, Brenda? Who do you miss most?
Love you.
Haley. What was that? Am #1 fan because I'm taking an hour lunch for this. Fantastic.
Wow, good evening.
We've got 3 generations of Hollands in this house right now, actually.
3 whole generations of nerds.
This is our flashpoint. Here's me in 10 years. Come on in. Everybody, I'd like to introduce my big brother, James Holland.
How you doing?
So this is me in 10 years. Me present 10 years ago.
You can only go.
Whoa, this is pretty
I
tricky.
win.
You
I
win.
win. Yeah, you see, I am the bar. As far as emotions.
You are. You raise the bar.
Mhm.
You set the bar. You set the tone. We follow your lead.
Always.
I'm par with that. So it's showing we're up to 5. We have 4 likes. One of the 5 is not enjoying this yet.
4
So
whole likes.
we've got to convert them. We've got to get them on board to get that other thumbs up.
Yeah, art is subjective, but also you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't understand the thumbs down selection in YouTube. That's one thing that's always kind of bothered me. Like, I think if you click the thumbs down, you should have to put your username. If you're gonna be rude
Yeah.
about it, especially when you look at some good music movies that are out there, and there's like 20,000 thumbs downs. You're like, who was angry enough to click thumbs down at somebody's?
That's the funny thing. Like, you can not like a song. I think that's normal, but actually to take enough time out of your day to just like actually like people need to know I don't like this.
Yeah, they are going to know this. I will set the record straight.
Yeah.
I'll be damned if someone thinks I like this song.
Thank God.
I do have a question. New Wave. When did you guys watch this? Did you stay up Wednesday night and at midnight and watch this movie, or was this yesterday? Just curious how quick you jumped on the movie to be able to watch it, or were you one of the lucky few that got to get an early screening? I was really upset with myself last night. Zack Snyder did a watch party.
Really?
And because I committed to you and I committed to watching it today, I did sit out on it. But if we didn't have this planned, I got to tell you, that would have been a fun event to watch with Zach.
If I wasn't here, I'm sure that would be fun.
This tops it. Although I did invite Zack Snyder tonight, so maybe he'll join in on the chat. I'm sure he's got nothing going on right now.
Probably. He won't answer any of my calls, though.
No, it's weird. You jump over his fence once, and all of a sudden,
just one
changes
time,
his number.
All right? Just one burning package on his
you got the
front door.
screener for it.
Weird.
Let's see. So New Wave got to watch it early. That is awesome. I am super envious.
Private screener.
Please PM me and let me know how you become part of that club, because I would love to see the early screeners to these. Carrie Holland's cracking up.
Yeah, our buddy Kev. Yeah, good old Kev. Yeah.
Who's Kev?
Oh, well, Brenna says we can ask our buddy Kev, Kevin Conroy, who, we just barely missed that, that one Comic-Con from that one time.
We're up to a personal new best. 6 viewers, everybody. We're up to 6. All right, it is officially 9:30. So make sure if you're on the live chat, you hit the chat function so we can have you guys involved in the conversation. But part 1 is starting behind us right at 9:30, as if we had this planned. That worked out pretty well.
Crazy, yeah.
That was right on.
You started. So we timed it out just right at midnight. Thanos will snap his fingers.
Oh, we tried that. We missed it.
We did. Oh,
it's so disappointing after 2.5 hour wait. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in to Attack on Show Live, our first live event. So excited about this. I've been anxious about it all week. I have not slept at all. I probably will not be up at all tomorrow. Anyway, we just wrapped watching Justice League, the Snyder Cut on HBO Max, the 4-hour and 9-minute marathon.
4 day and 6 weeks, 4 hour and
what day are we in?
What year is it?
Yeah. 2020 is over. So we did it all in one setting. We started this at 4:30. We built in some break times in there so we could order some pizza, pour a cocktail or 2 or 3.
Or
grab
9.
a beer or 9. Anyway, it just finished. Tyler, do you want to kick things off with how you felt about the movie?
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you.
You gotta love when you got some PAs on set.
Here, anyone? I'm noticing these bags under my eyes. Anyone? Oh boy. All right. Well, all right. So I'll start off, I guess, preface by saying how I kind of feel about the whole Snyder films in general.
The Snyder DC world?
Yeah, because it kind of does factor into this movie, like, absolutely. And I wasn't really much of a fan of Batman vs Superman. For a number of reasons, you
Theatrical cut or ultimate cut or both?
Oh, both.
Ooh.
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
The ultimate cut was definitely better. I guess it just connected the wrong kind of dots. I guess.
Okay.
But I'm sure that can be a whole other video. It's a long thing.
We gotta stay honed in on the Snyder Cut.
That wasn't so. Going into the Snyder Cut, though, given the history behind it, and how this kind of came to be, I absolutely think that Zack Snyder more than deserves to make this film and get his vision out there. Because given everything the poor guy went through, absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta say that the process of getting this movie out there is what really, I think that story in itself is such an amazing story, almost to the level of Sonic the Hedgehog redo on the design, but the fact that fans just pushed for this for so long, and to finally see it come to fruition, I got to tell you, my opinion, 4 hours and 9 minutes later, when that movie ended, I wanted at least another 4 hours and 9 minutes of this story to continue. Like it's already on in the background. I could have continued with more story. I am a fan of the Batman v Superman ultimate cut. I thought that filled in a lot of holes that were needed to be filled.
Yes, it was cut, ultimately.
But this Justice League, I am super impressed with Zack Snyder's vision of this film. I absolutely loved it. The pacing, it ramps up very high. The action is insane, and then it does. To me, I felt did a good job of bringing things back down to kind of get you settled. The way they broke up the chapters was really
that was
well
nice.
done.
So if you need a bathroom break, go now.
Yes, and run.
Of
course, we were on a timeline, so we had to
that's
to
true.
make it happen.
Normal people can actually pause it and go home, see their families.
We're pretty close. Tyler drove over 2.5 hours to be here today for tonight's live event.
I did.
So this has been a very long day.
Seat.
Brent H. Tyler, is it 9.75 out of 10? I got a feeling like you're not that high with it.
9.75. Well, all right. Yeah, I know. I do sound kind of negative, but I'll no pun intended, ultimately, I did actually end up really enjoying it. The only reason I wanted to, talk about my opinions on the Snyderverse, as a whole, is I was kind of going into it with a different mentality because, regardless of the story, Zack Snyder's I really like his the visuals and his action is so over the top in the best ways.
Oh yes.
So I was just kind of here for the big boom punchy punch superhero stuff. But this movie's a lot better than the original Justice League was. Yeah, the characters actually have arcs. They feel like people rather than just people
even
standing
Superman.
around.
Yeah, yes.
Especially Cyborg, I think, had it the worst in the theatrical cut. And this one, he actually has a lot to do. And it was just I don't know. I had a good time. 4 hours, and it's not not even a dumb fun take your brain out kind of way.
No, obviously everyone, I think when it comes to the superhero movies, everyone always lets Marvel set the bar, but I gotta say, this movie, I was watching it the whole time, and I enjoyed this a ton. I was sitting there saying, man, I want this universe to continue. I am sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I'm also live on Instagram. My bad. We're gonna try that too.
Sorry, all the Instagram fans.
But I honestly was watching this as I wish this had come out when Justice League did, because I'm now looking at this as what a missed opportunity to continue the universe. I think this finally showed Snyder's vision of we're gonna make a big movie with all of them and then branch them out to whereas Marvel took 20 years with individual characters.
I know Zack Snyder originally had a 5-film plan, for this story, this universe, including Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, and this one. There were going to be 2 more Justice League movies. I don't know what the plan was for the solo films though. But you can definitely tell the way this one ended. It does set up for future events. Yeah, to go through. So honestly, whether or not you're a fan or not, I would be interested to see them just give Zack Snyder the green light. Because especially the way the DC is going now, they don't seem to care about continuity or.
Well, I don't even know if it's a matter of caring about continuity. I again, if people are joining in, I'm sorry, we're at 9:36. If you're joining in, make sure you click into the chat function there so you can watch live chat.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you. We just finished watching the Justice League, kind of giving a review and discussing it. This isn't even so much more of a review, is that we really wanted to hear from all of you guys to see what you thought and share our experiences because of the excitement all surrounding this movie. Mm-hmm. But no, I think what DC is finally figuring out is that you don't need to have one storyline to like have multiple Batman movies out there. The animated
DC's
world has worked that way forever. Mimic that in the movies.
Huge multiverse. So why not give Zack Snyder his corner, and then you can have Robert Pattinson.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, why not? It's and
what's Brenna saying here? She says,
"You'd rather build stories than the universe," and I definitely agree with that.
No, I definitely agree. Hey, JBI Securities. This is my buddy. From work here, Juan. Thank you so much for tuning in. He says, this is what the show should have been. Oh, this is what we should have had in the beginning. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. 100%. Absolutely. I did not realize going into this, I knew that Whedon had filmed a lot. I knew that there was a lot that was deleted, but I did not understand the magnitude or how much of an original film we were going to get tonight.
That's the crazy thing, you can watch director's cuts of other movies, but this is a completely different film.
Yeah,
I mean the scenes still happen this, in the original, there's a scene with Batman and Aquaman talking.
Yes,
that scene's still there, but the way it plays out is completely different. The dialogue. Every now and then you'll see maybe a few shots that actually made it into the theatrical cut, but it just has so much different context now.
Yeah, I really thought we'd have more opportunity for make a drink break or go to the bathroom, but it wasn't there. I did not want to get off my couch because it seemed like every minute watching was something. It was a brand new film the whole way through.
It was.
And we had to pause it. A movie that we had seen a version of before, you could not walk away from the screen. And there was really, I'm glad they put the chapters in there because I think the story was told in a way, I don't think there's a minute where you should leave to go to the bathroom. Parts of this movie to be able to walk away from and come back and not miss anything. I feel that.
I mean, if you were gonna cut down this movie, there's ads. Being 4 hours, you'd think there's a lot you could just cut down, but there's really only a few shots I thought were kind of redundant.
There's one song with Aquaman. I don't understand this. The choir in Sweden or wherever they were.
But it's little. They cut back to Lois Lane, at least in the first half, 3 times, maybe just 2 times. Really little things like that.
Yeah, no, and let's see what we got here. It's I'm glad they showed more of the Flash actually helping. Yes, he had
that's something. Yeah,
badass scene with the people. Yes, characters. Honestly. That was the first part of the movie that I started clapping out loud because the way they filmed that it was just a shadow in the cloud of him jumping around when he was stopping the debris.
When you wave your hand really fast in a strobe light.
Yes,
that's what the effect.
Or in 3 hours when we wave our hand in front of our face.
It was so cool. Everybody had actually had something to contribute.
Yes.
In that last fight.
Yeah, because that sequence it was help one person in the
he was scared to go in there, and Batman had to talk him into it. Flash was like, this is fine. It goes.
I do want to point out too the score to this film. Added so much more to the movie.
I like the score a lot.
And the reason I'm bringing that up right now is because the scene we're talking about, this was in the Whedon version when Flash runs around and he touches the sword. Yes. The music that amped up that scene so much more that was a scene we had already seen. But I was still watching as if it was for the first time. But yes, Juan, I gotta say the Flash 10 times better than this. I'm glad they cut a bat cave and then falling on one. It made him a little too slapstick in the Whedon one, and yes, I was glad they made him a more powerful superhero in this film. He wasn't just a goofy sidekick.
Yeah, it's things I've read a literal ass mountain of comics throughout my whole life, and there's a lot of concepts that they talk about in this movie that I just thought I'd never hear in a movie. When talk about Flash being able to manipulate time in certain ways. Wow, they actually put that in a movie. Oh, hey, Brenna, look, this part's dope.
No, you may not want to watch this if you're not sitting down yet. Actually, Brenna, look away.
Just kidding. The light, it's blinding. Never mind. The light's got us covered.
Again, if you're just tuning in, hit the chat function. It's just below the video there. Join in on the chat. We're reading them as we're discussing Justice League. The Snyder Cut came out yesterday, Wednesday at midnight. We just watched all 4 hours and 9 minutes of it. I'm pretty amped. If I'm using Brenna's scale of 10, I gotta say it's easy, an easy 9. I would say to a 9 for a 10. I was really blown away. I do want to sit down watching it because I also got to say I do think there is a little bit of hype or excitement from all of the time waiting for this movie because I was really big on the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I always pressed it out there. Like I always wanted to see his vision. I thought it was only fair after 2 of his movies.
What happened to him? I already like I said, he absolutely deserved it, and how much the studio really just bogged down the actual cut was just kind of wrong. Like regardless of what I think of it, you really just got to let the guy do his thing, and really it's on the studio more than anybody, honestly. Yes. They're just like, we need to catch up to Marvel now. Batman vs Superman was like 2016, and Marvel was already on like Civil War at that point, so they're just like, we need to do it now. So I think that was a big problem with the Whedon one. Yeah, it was so rushed that it felt that way. And that cheesy Batman scene, I do have to tell everyone, if you have not seen this, that cheesy Batman scene that opened the Whedon Justice League is gone. So the cheesy background, the awful special effects in it, that is all erased from the movie. But I got the opening sequences. I love the way they introduced all the characters. It did not feel rushed. Yes, the Wonder Woman sequence was awesome. So I finally figured out New Wave Films, Robert Butler. I got to give a shout out to Robert Butler, who is an amazing film critic. And you can look up his reviews on defactofilmreviews.com. He does have a review of the Justice League out. And you can see his rating. He was actually in here posting it in the chats. But I got to tell you, a lot of amazing reviews on that website. You guys will want to check that out, where he does go back and find some amazing movies you may have missed. It's definitely worth reviewing, and I'm excited to read it. Noah Dameron, I'm sorry, was actually the one who reviewed Noah Dameron. Oh, that was they fly now.
Who?
They fly now. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, well, they fly now.
Yeah, so they already have a review on it. He gave it a 3.5 out of 4 on De Facto Films. Yes, so that was very well done. I gotta say, Robert, I'm on board with this. Like, I really think it was that well done. So, defactofilms.com. Make sure you guys check it out. Read the review. The Justice League Snyder Cut, their written review is on there. He gets published in newspapers. Very, very good movie critic out there that I go to quite a bit to see their reviews, because that helps guide me into what I'm going to watch, and then sometimes bring on to Attack on Show and discuss. So, let's see. Yeah. Oh, Juan's going back to work. I'm trying to get JBI Securities. We're going to do a reality series with him one day. I think that'd be cool. Fantastic. He's like Dog the Bounty Hunter in Detroit. The guy's amazing at his job. It's fun to watch his progress.
Cool.
Let's see. What do we got? I saw something up here too. Fisher. Ray Fisher is a cyborg character.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
When we were talking about like how the studio interfered, Brenda was bringing up how Whedon was treating everyone. Especially Ray Fisher. That's been a lot of controversy. I got to say, the design of Cyborg was even different. It appeared different in this version. And his voice, I was surprised at the difference of his voice. Voice is definitely different.
Even in scenes that were in the Whedon cut.
I'd have to like Google it and like compare.
Yeah.
And like at first, like, and this is more, Whedon didn't change the designs at all. Like when I first saw Cyborg, I wasn't too much of a fan of his appearance. But at least in the context of the movie, like he sees himself as like this freak, this monster, and it's kind of hard for the audience to at least identify with him if he looks like really badass and cool.
Yeah, then why would you be upset? Like,
right, like so,
I'm the man.
Like at least like with that mentality, like okay, like you got room. I mean, he's Cyborg; he can like upgrade himself. Now
there's like a song for that. All right, we're up to a new personal best. We've got more viewers on, so I do just want to again let everyone know, if you hit the chat function, you can join in, chat with us. We're reading the chats as we're running through this, because again, we're here tonight to discuss Zack Snyder's Justice League. And if you've watched it, we want to hear your guys' opinions and not just give our own. We'd love to have a conversation with you to see what you thought. One huge highlight, and this is in the trailers, I loved the black suit on Superman.
The black suit, the classic I mean, I miss the mullet, but it's cool to see the black suit.
I was really hoping his hair would have grown out.
Yeah, you know.
One thing I gotta give a shout out to my brother, my big brother James. Watching it with him is he made a good reference, and this is also in the Whedon to now. But when they pulled Clark Kent out of his casket in a full suit, and then dunk him in water, and he comes out as Superman, shirts off. It was like Sun's out, guns out. He still had his pants on, but where'd the suit go? The jacket, the tie, the button up. It's 3 layers that that just ripped up, but the pants held up to it. I guess.
Seeing the Olympian god that is Henry Cavill, I just assume that kind of thing happens when he moves.
I feel like I'm looking in a mirror when I see him in that scene. It's
same, bro.
This is pre-workout, right? But yeah, he was uncomfortable, Brenda says. Maybe it was cutting the circulation off to those massive biceps of his. What'd you say? You said he looked like a Dorito.
From the back, like there's a shot, like you see him and like he has like that perfect triangle shape, like
That's why I'm biting.
He's just got that perfect like Dorito shape, and like I mean,
the dude is ripped. The dude. I gotta say, I think Henry Cavill takes a lot of criticism for Carrie Hollis says hi Carrie. I think he gets a lot of criticism for playing Clark Kent Superman, and I think he actually got a chance. It wasn't. I felt like he did more with this role, with the time he had in this movie, than he got to in previous films. Like, I don't think they really gave Superman more time on screen, but I feel like the time that he had, I thought he did better with it.
He definitely did. He absolutely did. And the thing about like Henry Cavill, like I know he can do a great Superman. I think it has more to do with how the character is kind of written in the last couple movies. He's obviously not in this one a whole lot because spoilers, he was dead. But like
we're 6 years past the spoiler.
We are 6 years, so that's kind of on you at this point.
Yeah, if you don't already died at the end of Batman v Superman, or did he?
Man.
But yeah, so no, it was definitely. I thought he showed more emotion. I thought the scene with him back at the house, he got to do it was interesting. Like his facial expressions in this, when he goes back to get the suit, I felt like he actually connected more to the character. And I'd be curious. I do want to do some digging at this to see how much of that was reshoots versus original cut. But I felt like he did very well. Noah, Darren, you're very welcome, man. We love the work that you do. So very happy to be able to give you a shout out on this. And again, that's De Facto Films. Check them out.
I like what New Wave Film says quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's Robert Butler. That's a good friend of mine. He's an amazing film critic, movie director. Yes. So you want to check out Robert Butler. I don't know if he has I have to check. I'm sorry, Robert. I don't know if you have like a professional page on Facebook that you want me to give a shout out to, if you want to put it on here, or type in your website here on the comments so everybody can see.
Absolutely. Not since the first director's cut of Blade Runner has a movie just been just so much better. Like just having the director's cut out there.
I'm not a Blade Runner fan.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's awful. I'm sorry. It's a bad movie.
No, I would say a director's cut. I did read, and I'm going to steal this line from a different movie critic, but I did read where somebody had said, this is Zack Snyder's, like what T2 is to James Cameron's. I think this is probably his best film. I'm a big Zack Snyder fan and his visionaries, but I do think he always kind of misses some plot. I will go with like Legends of the Guardians. I think was one of his best films, and that's animated. But I love that is such a great movie.
Owls, right?
Yeah,
with the
it's owls fighting, and I love this film. But I gotta say, this Justice League I think was his best. I think it's his best one so far. Like I think, he got more time to just make it right. So it's kind of unfair.
Definitely, absolutely. Zack Snyder's great at taking like something he sees like in a comic, like the panel, like just the surface level appearance, and just putting it on screen. Yeah, Brenna.
Brenna's getting a sneak peek.
Yeah, I know. The Amazons, Brenna, they're so cool in this.
There's a lot more of them too.
A lot more.
Yeah,
they get a lot of attention. But yeah, he's great at taking like what he sees in a panel and putting it on screen, like 1-for-1 translation. Yes. That's something that's great. So as far as like his best film, me personally, it's still 300 for me. Looking at
for visionary, like
his film like in general. This is like a really close second though. Really,
300's your favorite Zack Snyder?
For Zack Snyder, I think that's like his and the way Zack Snyder likes to make his films. I think that story fits him very well too. So it's no wonder like the movie's just really cool.
I gotta say, J Marsh design.
Yeah.
Let's give a big shout out to J Marsh here. Yes, you make very valid points there.
Yeah.
Basically, Zack Snyder had free reign to do whatever he wanted with this, and no one was going to challenge him.
Right.
And I gotta say, I love, again, what we started off at the beginning saying. I love the fact that this movie got to be made because the fans would not let the studio off the hook. We got garbage with the Whedon cut.
Garbage.
Yes, it
Garbage.
was awful. And we finally got our revenge. We finally got
This
justice.
is great. Yeah, justice.
Right? We all
Hey.
became a league and got
A
justice.
league of our own for justice.
Yes. And I couldn't be happier. Like I gotta say, this movie did not let me down at all. I felt like we flew through it. I didn't feel at all like it was a far movie.
That was the crazy thing. The pacing was actually really good.
Yeah.
Most of the time, like 4 hours did not feel like I'm sitting there for 4 hours.
No.
Like, as someone who loves watching the extended Lord of the Rings movies, this seemed to go by a little faster.
I feel like we have this scripted because I was literally going to pivot to Lord of the
Were
Rings.
you?
This is crazy. It's like we're related. No,
Weird.
I was going to say there were moments in this movie when I was watching, and for some reason I had Lord of the Rings like feels like vibes going on when I had memories of when I was in the theater watching Lord of the Rings and just saying like I know I was watching a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And like watching this throughout the movie, I literally had that
cinema.
flash in my head where I'm like, man, I am watching like this is just it's amazing.
This is a film.
It is. The 4-3 aspect is a little tricky at the beginning. I felt like it took me a minute to get used to that.
A minute. I mean, I guess it's just one of those choices that I don't really.
I don't understand
like,
the advantage of it.
Yeah, like I don't know why you did that, but like it's a choice. Okay, that's great.
He's
That's
one of those
cool.
like when you're trying to take pictures like this, he's like, no, turn it up.
Yeah, like
And
turn
it's
it up.
No,
like,
I
I mean, it's fine. I mean, and the movie looks great. You know.
It does, and fortunate enough, we got to watch it on the theater
well.
screen, so it wasn't too bad like that. But
no, I mean, it looks fine. Looks great. Like
I think it's more that IMAX was the idea is that this would be on an IMAX screen, which is more square.
Oh,
so
you're right,
I believe that's history. I'm gonna defer to Robert Butler or New Wave Films out there if that's the case or not. I believe I had heard that somewhere. Does it end here? Does WB have to give the sequel? So there are a few rumors spreading right now. One is that Ben Affleck may be doing a Batman series on HBO Max, which I could only hope for. I do got to point out, I think the last scene of this with him was a reshoot because his arms were not.
It felt, yeah.
He was like kind of puffing his chest, and his arms were not ripped like the way he had looked.
He looks like it looked like me when I'm like alone and like I'm kind of in the shower, and no one's around, and I'm just like
look at Stone.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so I think that was a reshoot. So he's gonna have to get back into like muscle shape because you could tell. I think they had brought him back for that. But I would love to see when Ben Affleck was selected for Batman. I was a big defender from the beginning. I had nothing but faith that he would pull it off.
I had to think about it.
I want more.
I had to think.
There were a lot of naysayers.
I had to think on it.
People were not happy about it.
I was named to say.
Yes. So Zack Snyder has said that he is done in the DC universe. Whether or not that actually holds up, we'll have to wait and see. But again, I think a Batman series, if they gave Ben Affleck the ability to do it, I know Deathstroke, Joe, what's it?
Not sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Like Mangello, a Flash from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know,
I know he wants to continue. There's rumors of a Deathstroke movie. But again, I think my top goal right now, or what I would like to see first, is more Ben Affleck Batman. And I gotta say, if I'm going to critique this movie, I still want more Ben Affleck Batman. Like I was really hoping for a lot more Batman in this movie. There was only a couple added clips.
I gotta admit, like one thing, Batman for some reason he felt a little off to me. Not in the same way that in the Whedon version. Like not that, so much better.
Yes,
you know, he looks great. He has like the rest of the characters, just so much more consistent in his motives and everything. It's hard to get behind him, but something it almost didn't feel like Batman. And I think it's because I'm not used to Batman being like the Nick Fury of this universe. Like
you don't like him killing people either.
I hate when Batman kills people. Batman should never kill people on screen. Although
I'm fine
I don't know if this is hypocritical, but aliens are fair game. I think it's a fair game. I don't care what he does there, but
I'm okay with the Batman killing. I mean, I know that that's a long-standing rule with Batman, but there are different universes out there when you get into the Dark Knight, and he does, you know, he's crossed that line. They did do, you know, they touched on it in Batman v Superman when they did the Nightmare sequence, and he had the gun. So to me,
never kill.
I also find like that rule a little hypocritical or it never really pans out because he always ends up killing people. Whether it's I'm not saving you from the train or he throws you, through like off a roof.
Well, that's the thing. Also, I think the movies kind of miss that. Like, not only does Batman not kill, he goes out of his way to save everyone, even when he knows it's going to go back to bite him.
He throws him out of a helicopter. He knows they're over water.
Yes, or like when in the end of the Dark Knight, like when Joker's falling and he catches him instead. Like he knows Joker could.
Brenna's got a vote saying should not kill. Brenna,
kill.
Even if you say it 10 times, Brenna, it's only one vote, so you only get one for that. Indirect kills. Killing counts as killing.
It will.
Yeah.
Even if you have a really awesome entrance out of the train or exit, I should say, with your cape, when you say, "I don't have to save you," and it's like really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, technically, yeah, but like
so
as
they
far
broke
as
the rule in the Nolan. Huh?
Technically, yeah. At least I can say like there's. I mean, we can bend it a little bit.
Yes.
In for the sake of a film, But like as far as.
And speaking of Nolan,
in general, you just shouldn't.
He's executive producer on this movie or producer on this film, and I do gotta say the Wonder Woman sequence where they introduce her is pretty. It's similar to the Whedon cut, but they give more of an entrance, and that we even pointed out the music in there seemed more like the Nolan Dark Knight. The way they entered it and the way it was filmed seemed a lot like a really Nolan style.
That. Wonder Woman's entrance in this movie is amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing what little cuts like that can do because they did use.
Bye, Brenna.
The footage was there. Oh, Brenna's leaving.
Yeah, Brenna, you
get back to work.
You ain't seen nothing yet as far as these Amazons.
Brenna, you and your crazy get rich quick schemes. Keep at it.
Crazy jobs. It's wild.
Who's got time?
Seriously.
Anyway, so we still have some viewers that are just now starting to tune in. So again, everybody, make sure that you click the chat function just below the video. We'd love to hear your thoughts if you've watched Batman v Superman. I am curious, Jonas, did you get a chance to watch this movie? Carrie says bye, Haley. I don't know if I hope she didn't leave too quick.
Tune into chat. Welcome to part 2.
Brett London is listening.
Who?
Brett London.
Oh, my sister married Brett one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder if they know each other. Maybe she knows this Brett.
I don't know. Guy's a huge nerd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's steer the conversation away from Snyder. Let's talk about how much of a nerd my sister's husband is.
We can't cut. This is live.
That's true. It's already the Snyder Cut.
No,
so
I do want to say, since right behind us, the design of Steppenwolf. I know in the images that were released, it was kind of curious how the armor would look on him.
I'll be honest, he looked like a pile of razor blades.
Yeah. That's not going to heal if you stop picking it.
Yeah. But in this movie, you can take him so much more seriously.
Yeah, the Whedon cut had a lot of just cheesy one-liners that a typical bad guy would say. They cut a lot of that out in this one. Yeah, I smell fear on you.
Yeah, just I don't know, if you Google search like top 10 bad guy phrases, like that's his entire
That was his script. That was the rewrite.
That's his rhetoric. Even Steppenwolf has more of a character, more of a motivation. It's nothing groundbreaking or anything.
He was even vulnerable. Like they actually it wasn't just one dimensional. I appreciated like they gave him some depth.
He has very soft eyes when they close in on him. Like they're actually like, I mean, don't let the razor blades fool you. No. Like he's got very I feel like I could trust that guy, I think razor blades. I think he's just misunderstood, honestly.
I did like the new armor look. It was like alive, like the way they kept shuffling throughout. Like
I'm not sure, but it was moving, it was interesting. I am a fan of color, I do have to say. I do wish there was some I don't know, some.
You like the Whedon color grading better than the Zack Snyder?
Maybe if you put, not that color. I mean, at least just with Steppenwolf's armor, like it's just that silver.
Oh, okay.
And something
but that's
like
that's very Zack Snyder-esque, right? He doesn't use a lot of color palettes.
Yes, very. Yeah, it is very Zack Snyder, and it definitely doesn't look bad. I just like it, at least especially in a superhero movie. I mean, everything's bright and colorful in a comic, and this is a Snyder universe, so.
Yeah, you're gonna get the mundane.
We don't do that,
black,
which is totally
black and white color. Yeah, but, and that I gotta say, Ben Affleck. I keep looking back here as it's going through. I love his Bruce Wayne.
It's pretty cool. Telling. Like we just sat through this 4-hour-long movie, and I am so distracted by watching it. Like I kind of just want to sit down and just watch it again. Like it's pretty telling.
Exactly. I liked his. I like him as. Bruce Wayne,
yes,
as much as I like him as Batman, but I really love the interaction between him and Alfred.
Him and Alfred have so much more to do in this movie. Everybody just has a lot to do. It's kind of it goes without saying, but him and Alfred get a lot more interaction.
Yeah, there's more banter between the two. I love the way that they interact with each other. I do, you feel that there's like a true connection relationship between the two.
Yeah.
It's not just Alfred's a butler just serving Bruce the whole time.
Mhm.
You can see that they support each other, and I like that they give him more of like a mechanic. Like they're always kind of like fixing
Yeah,
things.
it's always nice to see. It's so Batman. Just they cut to him. They cut to Ben Affleck. He's in the suit, but like he's not wearing his mask, and he's in front of the computer. You see Alfred working on something in the background. That's just so Batman. Yeah, I do love seeing that.
It gives it kind of a reality to it because yes, the stuff would have to take work. They don't just show
Ben
up in like a Corvette looking Batmobile that's like perfect. So I do like that they kind of give it that realism in the background while still being a fun fantasy film.
Yeah,
not getting too realistic.
Not quite as grounded as like the Nolan movies because this is a universe where Superman and Flash and aliens are exist, but it still like has a foot in our reality. So
yeah, exactly.
You also probably won't see the Batman Forever Batmobile. As much as I love that thing, like it's something Batman would never do.
Oh, the Batman Forever one?
Batman Forever Batmobile.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that Batmobile.
There is a release the Schumacher cut campaign going.
Yes, there is, and I've seen a couple videos on that. I didn't realize like it's not quite as drastic as this movie, but
I heard it's much darker though.
It is. It's a lot more darker. It gets into the character of Bruce Wayne a lot more.
With Val Kilmer.
Yes, with Val Kilmer, and that is like the first movie to really treat Bruce Wayne as the main character in a Batman film.
Oh.
I think at least the way I watch it, like
it's the car, right? Chicks do
right. I know it has a lot more other stuff in it, but like the two Tim Burton movies, like they keep. I get like the mentality of wanting to keep Batman like mysterious,
okay,
and in the shadows. But he kind of feels like a side act. Like the reason we're here is for the villains. The villains get the origin story.
Also, part of it, like Jack Nicholson was such a big name,
and it's also Jack Nicholson
at the time.
And it makes sense given the time period. But it is nice to see in Batman Forever, like those really melodramatic scenes when he's, and it has that 90s like really drama feel, which I'm a sucker for.
You got Seal screaming.
You got Seal like Kiss from a Rose in there. Hell yeah. But yeah, I do like when it's talking about why he does this. It's more of a compulsion.
Maybe after the Snyder Cut and they see the success of this, maybe HBO Max will go through and push for the release of Schumacher Cut.
Please, he hugs a giant bat.
Yeah,
I need to see.
There was like a quick glimpse of it.
I've seen like GIFs of it or something, and it.
Forever is an underrated masterpiece.
Hell yeah,
Brenna.
Hell yeah. Some of us, that's our first introduction to Batman.
It was okay. I just didn't age well. I feel like there's a lot of issues with it watching now.
It gets better every time I see it. I love it.
So we'll stay focused on the Snyder Cut.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, ADD's on fire right now.
But again, we got a few more viewers coming in here. We're only on 42 minutes. We're going to probably button this up for an hour because, again, we can only talk so much before you guys start sending us hate mail. We only get to see the thumbs up, so I don't know how many thumbs down we have. So we'll have to find that out after the video.
Yeah, we do. We only have the thumbs on. We're very insecure.
But if you've just tuned in again, make sure you click the chat function here. We'd like to hear from you guys if you've watched the Snyder Cut. Just came out Wednesday night at midnight. We waited till today and just sat through the entire thing.
Man.
If we're going to go on a number scale, did you give it a definitive?
I actually haven't yet. And, I've been secretly trying to think about it the whole time. It's hard for me to give it a number.
Would you recommend it? We'll start there and start working our way. Like, let's work this out loud.
Let's see. All right.
Would you tell anyone else to watch the Snyder Cut?
I would say watch the Snyder Cut. Obviously, if you're a fan of Snyder's work thus far with Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, BVS, and if you're purist as far as like how Superman should be, how Batman should be, maybe not. But the action, the scenes, the visual. This movie has so much spectacle.
Yes.
It has so much spectacle to it, and it's, worth checking out. At least the history. I think this is going to be talked about for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And I will also say my inner man-child fanboy was quite happy with the looks, the action. I think the really important thing is, will my sister like it?
I got a feeling she's going to love it.
I honestly, Brenna, I think you're going to like it. I think so. Yeah, man, as far as numbers...
You're really having a hard time. We'll get the numbers in a minute. We'll save something for the finale when we wrap it up. But so you can't even say whether or not you would just say, definitely check out the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, it really depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Honestly, I would say anyone, I think everyone should watch it. Judge for yourself. If you're curious about it, yeah, watch it.
I'll tell everyone.
This is history
to watch
in the
it.
making.
Yeah, I will tell everyone. There's Miles there who did not learn his lesson building the T800. Miles Bennett Dyson. He then went on to turn his kid into a cyborg because I guess he just didn't think killer robots that take over the earth in the future wasn't enough. So
I guess not.
That is a fantastic casting call. Like this guy just loves his robots.
Yeah, like that's great. Like man, if only I knew someone who's like really good at cybernetics.
Miles Dyson.
Cyberdyne.
Let's see. Oh, we got Ken. Maybe he's on here. He says, "You dress like a bat, Bruce Wayne."
I'm so glad someone brought that up. I'm so glad. That is one of those scenes that you could cut.
Yes. That was weird.
And then she like sniffs it too. Like
we did say that earlier. I don't know if you tuned in the beginning, but yes, that was actually when we said there were parts you could cut. That did seem it wasn't that long, but it did seem long. Like
there is a lot that is essential. It's like 4 hours. Like you could probably cut it to like 3.5.
Yeah.
Like total.
I think also that happening right at the beginning was kind of odd. Like I think it was just so early on. You're like, oh, wait a minute, is this going to be 4 hours and 9 minutes of like new singing scenes like this that we don't need? But
yeah, it's a musical now.
It quickly got away from that, thankfully, and the scenes that were added were
once the
well
bulb like really gets rolling about like halfway. No, not halfway. Like a quarter of the way.
It was quick. Yeah, it jumped. I think I started clapping about 2 hours in, and I clapped like 5 more times after that. Like there were just parts where it was just that cool where I couldn't. Luckily, that's one half of the speaker setup down here. My clapping wasn't really interrupting anybody, so it was okay.
No, I was interrupting my clapping.
Ken wants 4 hours of some random woman singing in the background. Like, I think
there we go.
They should have just let her follow Bruce. Like she follows him the whole time back. He's like, I'm leaving, and she just keeps singing, walking with him over the mountain.
Now, speaking of singing, I really like the musical cues in this movie. That's something Marvel's kind of missing with their superheroes. Like, the old like Superman has a theme. And Batman has the theme.
Wonder Woman.
Where are the theme, like the music? And now I'm glad we have that. I'm glad we have that back. Like when Wonder Woman shows up, you get da 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 da, and it's the same with Superman. And a couple of the
Wonder
characters
Woman
have their
theme is so cool.
Man, it's just like it's the best. It's the best right now. And a couple other characters also have their like musical stings, and that's
I gotta say one disappointing part about the music, being from Detroit and a huge White Stripes fan, is Iggy Thump is removed.
Iggy Thump is gone
from the Zack Snyder cut, which is pretty disappointing because where that was in the Whedon cut and the way it was edited, I thought was really cool with Aquaman.
It fit more. It fit like him. I mean, he's like
they switched it to David Bowie.
Whiskey, like
and chucks it, and they switched with David Bowie, and I actually would have preferred the Iggy Thump White Stripes in there. I mean, anytime you can put White Stripes to a movie or listen to the White Stripes, it's always a win-win. So that was one thing that stood out to me that I was kind of disappointed in the Zack Snyder cut. But again, the music just does give it a huge feel, and the whole score is just redone on this. Like I don't recognize any music from the Whedon, but it has been a while since I've seen it. But I gotta say, it felt like a whole new score throughout.
Oh yeah, I mean, Joss Whedon I think just brought in Danny Elfman to like redo, and like you just hear the Batman theme again, and then the Superman theme again.
Yeah,
and I love those themes. Don't get me wrong. There's just a place for them.
They added some vocals at some parts for like the Wonder Woman theme.
Yeah, there was.
Release the Iggy Thump cut. Yes, Brad. That's what I'm talking about. I'll re-edit that scene. We'll put it back in here. No, it was Ken says Iron Man had a theme.
Really?
A ringtone in the first movie.
I forget. I feel like every superhero had like the random like.
But that's also
cartoon in the '60s.
That is the old cartoon theme, and they had it play on the phone.
Yeah, which is a really nice nod. I love things like that too.
There was a couple cool. There was a nod. You pointed out the character at Star Labs.
Yes,
it was a good Easter egg.
Yeah, it was a pretty good Easter egg. Ryan Choi is a really minor character in the movie, and he's the second person to be a superhero called the Atom, which is basically DC's answer to Ant-Man. I think Atom came first. Well, Atom did, but not the version I'm talking about. It's comics, every 20 years here's a brand new version.
Yes.
But,
But that was kind of cool. I did not know that, so it was cool like you had pointed that out.
Yes.
Again, we're talking as if you've seen this, so we do want to warn there might be some spoilers here. So Brenna, I don't know if you want to mute for a second. Give a thumbs up once you turn us down, and then I'll give a thumbs up when you turn it back
thumbs
up.
up. Oh yeah. I mean, it's man.
I want to point out a major character that they added to the film. Obviously, we all had a quick glance at a Green Lantern in the Whedon cut.
Oh,
they kind of extended that in this one, but the big addition from the Justice League in this movie.
Oh, Big Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
Yes, we can say it. We warned already to mute.
That guy?
No. Oh, well, that's a big one. I'm saying Justice League. Who's a member of the Justice League?
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, that is a spoiler. I was going to say,
Yeah.
he was in the promos. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, was he? No,
Darkseid was. Yeah, Darkseid was.
Martian.
Yeah.
Manhunter.
The Martian Manhunter. And I did read somewhere originally they wanted that character, Henry Lennox, to eventually become Martian Manhunter, like secretly the whole time. But like, it's like fan stuff. It's internet. I take everything with a grain of salt. But yes, the Wonder Twins made it into the movie. They're actually the twist villain.
That would be a great.
The villains at the end.
That would be great. No, and I'll be honest. I stayed away from as much news as possible leading into this. I didn't want too many spoilers. I had heard some rumors about Martian Manhunter, but did not have it at least confirmed until tonight watching.
And then he's just like there suddenly.
Yeah.
And
then you're like, what was he doing all along? It kind of makes you go back to Batman v Superman and say, wait a minute, is he
that whole character? And Man of Steel too. He's a big part of Man of Steel. Yeah, the whole time.
So is he Martian Manhunter the whole time? Did he take that persona over?
Yeah, we don't technically know.
They didn't really answer that.
Obviously, his Earth alias is usually John Jones, which it would have been a dead giveaway for any fan. So I think it's interesting. Like he's a different character. Mm-hmm. But he mentioned something about being on Earth for like years and kind of hiding out. So it makes sense.
His voice is spot on to like the Justice League cartoons.
It was. And like they really didn't do anything with that actor's voice.
No.
Like he just has that voice and he really feels like, just when he shows up, it's like, gee, Martian Manhunter.
Brenda knew it was happening, so that's good. I'm glad we didn't ruin it for you. So again, more viewers are coming in. This is actually very cool. Again, hit the chat function there. Chime in on the conversation. We're going to be wrapping things up in about another 10, 15 minutes. But we were just talking the Justice League Snyder Cut. Right here's the scene I was just talking about. Icky Thump is removed from this scene, which is kind of unfortunate because it was really cool cut together. There now is the David Bowie song, which really changes
that would
the
be
tone.
Cool. Any Hawk person. Although I do hear they're going to show up in the Black Adam movie. Hawkman, anyway.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be like in the, I think in World War II-ish.
I didn't think that'd actually work. I just thought it was worth a try. Barkeep.
Barkeep? Oh, Barkeep. Got it. I just got that.
Wait, why is Brennan saying we're disrespectful?
What were we talking? I think we took out Icky Thump in it.
Oh, the Icky Thump. Yeah. Really weird. I don't know. That did not. That was the only scene where I'm just like, man. The Whedon cut of that was a little better.
Yeah, weird.
I think they tried to point more out in this scene to give Aquaman a little more character to show like he was alone. He's by himself.
Yeah, see how alone he is. See how much he's brooding.
Are you ever alone when you have a body like that?
Right. No kidding, man. Wow, I feel so sorry for you.
Poor guy.
For taking out that song.
Yeah, that's awful. Oh, yeah. Brenna, Auntie Carrie, Brenna saying hi. I'm trying to see where.
Hi, Brenna.
Can you hear Brenna?
I love you, Haley.
Can you see her back there?
You can see me?
Yeah. See?
Oh, we got.
The stream is sponsored by the letter L for love.
We got Martin Allen's in here watching, but he's not commenting. That's my big brother James, everybody.
It's because he doesn't like
He's commenting on Facebook.
Brenna went to bed.
No, she's supposed to be
at work.
She's supposed to be at work.
She's actually supposed to be working right now. Fun fact.
Hi.
All right, this is my wife, Carrie.
I do the same thing, but it'd be weird.
Say hi, Carrie.
No, please do it.
She has not seen the Justice League Snyder Cut yet.
I haven't, so I'm gonna.
We're gonna be watching over the weekend.
It's
I'm gonna go play bartender and get you a beer.
Oh,
hi.
Yeah.
By all means.
Hey, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Brian,
how you doing? Big fan.
Big fan. Drove all the way from Grand Rapids to watch the show live. He wanted to be in the audience today.
Drove me all the way from Grand Rapids.
Well, he's tripping over stuff. He's so excited. He's starstruck.
Oh, man.
It's really weird.
I'm really glad I bought all the action figures for this movie.
I gotta lock the bathroom door now with him in the house. He's really a huge fan.
Yeah.
We have all the action figures.
Yeah, I do. They're coming out with McFarlane's coming out with big boys.
That'd be very cool.
Big boys now, especially. I want the Darkseid one.
I think that's another big thing to point out. Willem Dafoe popping up in the
yeah.
Justice League.
Willem
Snyder
Dafoe.
Cut.
I knew he was cut from this, and yeah,
I
there he
didn't.
is.
So was
We'll
that
see him.
originally filmed? Did you like? I didn't know he was in this.
I know he was in it. I'm pretty sure he was
That's a
originally in. Yeah, originally in it because I know. Yeah, he was supposed to be in it. The same character that he is in the Aquaman movie. Same thing, although it is a little bit.
I wish they would have cut
Yes,
the
Brent, I did it.
the
Looks
bubbles. I wish they'd have cut the air bubbles out of it. That's so weird that they do that.
Like, at least, I mean,
they don't do it in Aquaman.
Yeah, I don't want to constantly say like, "Whoa, in the comics," because it's a movie, it's different. But I mean, yeah, in the comics, they could just talk underwater.
Well, in Aquaman, the movie, they
Aquaman.
do. So you kind of
They
wonder, like,
do.
why are they
It's-
doing it in this movie? And they
kind
do it more.
Yeah,
It made sense in fighting. Like when they're fighting,
yeah.
I love the idea of like creating an air bubble. He falls because he's trying to swim. That made sense. But for them, in order to talk in this movie, they have to do these air bubbles,
It
which
seems
is
really
weird.
inconvenient, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it must
But-
be a pain, especially for people that live underwater. How
Like-
can they not communicate
They just be
underwater?
like, "Can you just wave? Like, fine, make an air bubble. We can talk." That's like their version of calling instead of texting.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, an air
Like,
bubble.
Oh
We
man,
gotta talk.
my parents are coming over. They always make an air bubble. Why can't they just text?
Antichrist. Look up what the director said about him and the double. They knew
Man,
for-
if he's in it, like Willem Dafoe's up there with like Nicolas Cage. As far as like if he's in a movie, I'll just watch it.
my
I don't care
favorite
what it's
Boondock
about.
Saints. with-
Yeah,
I
oh
love
my
him in
god,
Boondock
he's
Saints.
amazing in that movie.
He's getting me coffee. He just walks in the room and like owns it.
There's a firefight
Who's that fire? That's how I walk in the room every time.
every time. Oh yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. You gotta drink it. Not
No,
over.
drink it fast.
There we go.
That's Steeler can?
Whoa. That's all right. We'll get the carpet
Wow.
washed. Man, Tyler's kicking away.
Jesus.
Is anyone having a cocktail tonight? Is anybody watching having a drink? It's a Friday night. The weekend is here. We're kicking things
The
off.
biggest mistake my dad's made.
Doing it
since
the
me.
right way. Second biggest.
That's right. I have a sister.
Speed 2, Willem Dafoe. I don't know anyone that would put.
He's in Speed 2.
I've never seen
I
Speed
haven't
2.
seen Speed 2 either.
You take Keanu Reeves out of it, I'm not watching. So
Oh, go.
Ken's not drinking, he's smoking weed. All right. As long as you're having fun.
Hey.
Carrie's got Ryan Coke going. She's making me a Ryan Coke. Waiting.
All right. Okay.
100% Ryan
man.
Coke for me tonight.
Man, okay, so Steppenwolf is talking to a really minor DC Comics character right now on screen. His name's Desaad.
Desaad. I
And-
thought he was saying Darkseid at first. I'm
Yeah,
like, wait, is
I
he
mean,
saying the
it's-
name wrong?
It's like, speaking of Lord of the Rings, it's like Saruman. It does make it
Saruman.
confusing, but like, it
Who wants
just,
to eat salmon?
speaking for like my personal enjoyment of it, like this is a character like I've known from like cartoons and comics, not something I think I'd see in a feature film. So seeing like, Desaad having a conversation with Steppenwolf,
Yeah.
mentioning Apocalypse and Darkseid, I mean, it's crazy. These things that like, I mean, it just put a smile on my face, and it just.
And who was the other
makes
character
me
there
so
with
happy.
Darkseid that you pointed out at the end? Thank you.
Oh yes. Doesn't have any speaking roles, but she's there. Granny Goodness. Granny Goodness is actually there, and just
Promote the show.
I'm not
Don't have any
even
logos on
sure
the
if it's like an actual actor or they just CG'd a human there. But
No, it wasn't.
she is there.
She
for
was.
all
It looked
you
actual.
hardcore fans. I mean, these characters are like, if you're going to do Apocalypse, they are staples.
I would
in
love to
Darkseid's
hear.
army.
I'd love to hear Steppenwolf sing "Born to Be Wild." That'd be a fun
Mhm.
karaoke night. I think we gotta try and make that
That'd be
happen.
great. I think, yeah.
I gotta say-
Steppenwolf or Darkseid.
I
they can
saw
harmonize.
I saw some critics earlier also say that some of the effects did not look finished in this. I didn't really have any stand out to me.
Really,
That
occasionally there was a couple green screen parts I did notice.
Yeah?
yeah, I did. They didn't. I didn't think they looked horrendous or anything, but they did seem to me like, oh, this might have been a reshoot that they did for this cut.
the only thing I think that might have I did kind of just open my, or I did kind of double look at was at the end when Flash was running and the Earth like running through time. It looked
Yeah.
like a full CG shot as it panned away.
Yeah,
So that was I want to say one of my most favorite scene that they put back in the movie though, because I'm thinking of a faraway shot, was Batman's entrance to this.
Oh my god!
It takes a while for him to show up in this movie.
It
in
does.
This version.
He doesn't put on his suit very much.
No, he's Bruce Wayne most of this film, and then
It's like halfway through. It's not that tunnel scene.
No,
the tunnel.
Well, at the
action
beginning
scene.
of the Whedon cut, remember
wait,
he's on
you're
the rooftop that looks like he's in the
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah, the studio entrance. It's like right next door where they're filming that '70s show. And
Oh,
share
wrong
it.
studio. But it takes a long time for him to get. But when they do bring Batman in, it is the perfect setup. It's the entrance with Commissioner Gordon, the way he jumps into the scene.
It's everything I want in like a Batman movie. Honestly, him standing there in a thunderstorm with the lightning. He's standing on like this Grim Reaper angel statue that's also on like the GCPD building. Like that's the police. That's like the police headquarters right there, and like that's the decor they go with is like this gothic like Frankenstein architecture.
It's very Gotham.
It is, and it should look like that.
Yes,
and like that's something I just really want movies like to steer into.
You do get a little more Commissioner Gordon in this. There's an added scene with him that gives a little more character. Played very well, and I'm forgetting the actor's name right now. It's
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, John Jonah Jameson.
John Jacob Heimerschmidt.
But you do get to see him. He's another one of those where I think like this universe, I was excited to see him expand more as Commissioner Gordon, like with Ben Affleck's Batman. Like I did want to see him playing the character of Commissioner Gordon more. So I was kind of sad to see that go away from this. What do we got here? Dark Knight Rises is nothing more than yes.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I gotta say Dark Knight Rises is probably, I think I rate that there with like Batman and Robin. Like I am not a fan of the third.
Yeah,
Dark Knight
honestly,
Rises.
I'd rather watch Batman and Robin. It makes me laugh.
Yeah,
it makes me laugh a lot
when they're supposed to be on ice skates and you can see the wheels on the rollerblades.
It's so funny. And anytime like Arnold Schwarzenegger's there, like he's just having such a good time.
That is a badass entrance by
that
Darkseid, though. Like the dude is real at this point. Like
I mean, it's
that
crazy.
Is a wicked shot.
I'm looking at Darkseid in a movie,
and the way he just swings it's a very cool.
Like even just pure fanboy. Like I know I would love to see him on the level of Josh Brolin as Thanos. Like as far as like the CG, motion capture, and the development, sure. But look, Darkseid. Yeah. He's doing things in a movie. That's so cool.
The very sad thing about watching this movie, like as it sets in, you start thinking about like, man, this universe could be done after this. Like we may not get to see anymore. I mean, the other flip side of that is after Wonder Woman 84, I don't know that I really want to see any more of that. Like that was a rough one.
I loved Wonder Woman 84, honestly. I loved it. It has a lot of problems. It has there's a lot of problems as far as like with the story and everything, and like I get it. The bad guy's Donald Trump. Okay, you don't need to keep reminding me.
Of course.
We get it. We know what's happening. But I loved
at best, Brenna, I gotta say at best, meaning I will never sit through that movie again. In fact, I'm really upset I can't get that time back.
I love that movie.
But
I loved it.
I'm really sad because
I love how cheesy it is.
I was so amped up after this movie when it ended. I was like, man, I really want to see these characters together more. Just Jason Momoa's interaction with Ben Affleck.
He's also so much better in this.
Yes. They added the whole, him. It was on the original trailer. I remember when Justice League was first advertised, where he jumps on the Batmobile. I was like, he just jumps. Like they put that back in this, and I've been wanting that scene. Like it's just so cool.
That part's cool. I love
the Batmobile's wicked.
Like Alfred has a surprising amount of interaction with the other Justice League members.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work for him. I love. There's a funny joke where
Alfred.
Ben,
Green Lantern.
It's so cool. I love the interaction when Ben Affleck came home, brings everybody to his house, and he's like, "This is Alfred. I work for him." And everyone's like, "Nice place, Alfred." Like they all
the whole badass Alfred.
It was badass.
It's so cool.
That was great.
I love that. Just like Flash was like awkward wave. And Flash was like genuinely funny, and he contributed a lot like to the fight.
They cut out a lot of the jokes from the Whedon cut. But it didn't feel like any of them were missing, if that makes sense. Like I felt like he was still just as funny. His character still carried the comedic relief, but he wasn't slapstick comedy.
Yeah, he wasn't like a complete joke. Like he's actually like a useful character. Like
his opening sequence, his introduction in this is amazing.
That was really cool. Right. Like I love the effect they do with his powers. It's not just lightning coming off of him. If you know. Like, at least, you don't have to be a comic fan to enjoy it. It just visually is really interesting. But, he is accessing the speed force. And
energy.
It does look like he's tapping into some other, I don't know, form of energy there, too. There's some kind of ripple effect with the lightning.
And I love that other than calling them the mother boxes, Mother is not a character in this. Like the
Mother's not a character in this, although they do acknowledge they treat them as sentient computers, which is what mother boxes basically are.
A huge change in this plot, the way that they use those or come up with the idea of bringing Superman back. They tied it together so much better.
Yeah, and it's it's like a microcosm of the movie as a whole. Like you know that eventually they're gonna use that. You're gonna use the mother boxes to bring Superman back, but it's just presented so differently and so much more organically to the story.
Yes. It was one of those like watching it where like they're talking and all of a sudden it was like light bulb goes off in your head at the same time. We're like, like that's how they're gonna do it.
I get it. It just really felt like like Joss Whedon did not have to reshoot as much as he did.
It makes you wonder what was going through his head. Like I'm really upset with Whedon right now.
I think it's just ego.
I think everybody,
honestly,
a lot of
he
people
just reshot everything just to reshoot it, And
then a terrible story he took out. I mean, there was enough here. Like, if the movie was as far done as we've heard it was, why would you reshoot anything? That it seems like there'd have been enough to cut a great movie together with what was left on the, when Snyder left, like just button this up.
I get the studio, like you want to like basically hack it to 2 hours, fine, but you can still make like if that was your really bad job or solemn task, like you can at least make it more cohesive using the existing scenes.
Also, Warner Brothers, why would you not just do 2 movies? Like, why would you not just end this where Superman, they bring him back and then boom, end it?
Like if you're gonna reshoot,
like what they did with Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame.
Like if you're gonna reshoot anything, just reshoot like the tunnel battle and like make that like the climax of the movie. Maybe another
some tie into Superman. I think you'd have to leave it where maybe where Bruce is looking up at the hologram and you realize, we can bring him back and then end it there.
Part 2.
Yes.
There you go. Like there's other ways to go about it than just
hacking the story.
Trash all of this, trash that, just have Whedon just do this mediocre version that everybody hates.
No, so I know Zack Snyder's probably watching. He's just too shy to comment. But Zach, we just want to say, amazing job on this movie. I'm really happy with it. I thought it was. Like I said, I'll do 9 out of 10. I think this was a great film that I can't wait to watch again and really start dissecting.
Oh, I can't. I really hope this comes out on like either Blu-ray or DVD or something.
Pay your HBO Max subscription. You can watch it over and over.
I have it, and it keeps buffering. I have buffering issues, and it really bugs me.
You gotta get the dogs to run faster in the hamster wheel.
Yeah, well, that's I'm not blessed by living in Alaska, so
that net zero was really tricky with it.
Yeah.
So I think we've cleared an hour. I want to thank everybody. We saw some viewers coming in and going, so I want to thank everybody that commented on here, contributed to the conversation. Do you want to give it a number actually before we sign out?
Yeah. Okay. I am going to give it a 7 overall.
I'll
give it a 7
for someone who's
solid.
Not a huge fan of the Snyderverse.
Not very much.
I think that's a solid win.
Even knowing like what he wants to do in the future, like the direction he wants to go with it, it's still a 7 for me. This is something I'll definitely just tune in every now and then. Probably skip through some of the slower parts, but I'm just gonna still watch it.
I'm gonna sit through again, especially this Lord of the Rings sequence here. That was very Lord of the Rings-esque. Great. I thought it was very well done. Ken, you're right. Ben Affleck. Not only did he not do bad as Bruce Wayne and Batman, I think he's
10 out of 10.
He's my favorite.
10 out of
Bruce
10.
Wayne Batman.
Minus all of the murder, the bleeding murder.
No,
there's a lot of murder.
So thank you everybody for tuning into this, our first time going live.
Add to my axe.
It's the first Attack on Show Live. Maybe we'll do it again in the future. I think this was a lot of fun. I want to thank Tyler for coming all the way up from Grand Rapids to join. This was fun. What do you think? First live event.
First live event. When's round 2? Let's do it again. Let's do it.
What's the next big event to look forward to? King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh yeah, King Kong. When is that?
We're just gonna turn the channel to HBO Max Live.
Yeah, we'll just HBO Max. Yeah, a couple of dudes talk about HBO Max.
G4 needs talent. Ken, thank you so much. Make sure you hound G4. We need to get Attack on Show on G4. Mm-hmm. I think that's the home that Attack on Show belongs to.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we created the show because Attack of the Show was gone, and I wanted to pay tribute, so that's where the name Attack on Show came. So this show should be on G4 Network. I continue to hound him. Ken, I thank you for your support because you're constantly tagging G4 Needs Talent. I love it. Message him on Twitter. Hound the beep out of them. That's live. I want to say the video.
Hound the Martha out of them.
Martha, why did you say that name?
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
All right, thank you for watching. As always, I'm Robbie.
I'm Tyler.
And this is Attack on Show. You tell them this is Attack on Show.
Hey guys, this is Attack on Show.
Here, I want me 10 years from now to say this is Attack on Show. Come on, James.
And this is Attack on Show.
7 out of 10.
Okay, thanks. I tried.
James, come
Man,
here,
you have to click it twice?